All right, so like I said in the previous video, if you even caught it, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing two versions of a video. I'm gonna do a short, blunt, bullet pointed video for the goldfish minded people, people who just like real quick, just to the point. And then I'm gonna make a more detailed, more lengthened version of the same video, just a little bit more detailed. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing the more lengthened, detailed version of how to gain muscle or how to gain weight. All right. The most important thing when trying to gain muscle is you need to be in a caloric surplus. So first, you need to find out your basal metabolic rate. So whatever the amount of calories that's required for you to stay at your current weight and your current activity level, you need to add about 500 onto that rule of thumb. Now, all calories aren't created equal. A couple different things. Fat and protein are the only two essential macronutrients. Carbohydrates is not an essential nutrient or macronutrient. It can be generated in your body on its own. But fat and protein can't. It can only be supplemented or given to you or taken away from what you already have in at disposal, like consuming your muscle or your fat, essentially. So those extra 500 calories, it can't just be any calories. In my opinion, it should be protein and fat. Now, my rule of thumb and what works for me for protein is 1.5 to 2 grams of protein per pound of lean body mass. Now, fat is about 0.75 to 1 gram of body weight. And then carbs, now what works for me differently is I'm a little more efficient with the carbohydrate department. I don't really need much. Now, I stay at about 0.5 to 1 gram. And I don't really stay consistent with it. Like, definitely when I'm bulking, I don't really stay the same numbers. It kind of fluctuates a little bit, so it stays between there. It might go a little bit higher, but not much. Like I said, carbohydrates are not essential. It's only fat and protein essential, and you need fat and protein to be able to build muscle. Those are your building blocks for muscle. So the extra 500 calories need to come from that. So whatever your basal metabolic rate might be, you increase that a certain percentage to be able to accomplish that extra 500 calories. Don't need to be 500, but that's just a rule of thumb. That's what works for me. Now, a lot of people, whenever they first start out at a gym regimen or a weight gain, even weight loss regimen, they start buying protein powders. Now, I'm not against protein powders by any means. I got like 40 pounds in there. A meal replacement protein as well as isolate. Protein powders are a good tool. Definitely for whenever you're not able to supplement your daily protein requirements. So if you miss a meal, or if you woke up late and you weren't able to get that extra meal in, same thing as missing a meal, or if you're not able to stomach that extra amount of food, it's a great tool. It's a supplement. A supplement for what you cannot take in previously or already. Food is king. Food is what you need to try to base everything upon. Now, there's the clean bulk and dirty bulk, and they're both pretty fucking self-explanatory. Clean bulk is monitoring your food a little bit closer and staying on a leaner side. And a leaner side as in home-cooked meals. Knowing what you're taking in, not going out and eating pizza and burgers and meals made at Chipotle or Chili's or whatever it might be. Now, you don't have to seclude yourself to, broccoli, chicken breast, tuna, all that shit. You should start eating saturated fats, like, your ribeyes and whatnot. I wouldn't go too excessive with it, because then you're going to go too excessive on your daily caloric intake, and you might start, holding a little more body fat than what you're really willing to be holding. But around 25 years old, before I was 25 years old, I was a low to no fat diet essentially. I wouldn't say no fat, but relatively low. And all my fats were saturated fats. Now, don't be scared of saturated fats because they are essential, and you need them for your natural hormonal production, and you need them for other processes in the body. But you need to start looking at other oils or other fats like mono and polyunsaturated fats, omega-3, omega-6s. Omega-6s are anti-inflammatory, so I wouldn't take too much of that because whenever you train in the gym, you need those the inflammatory responses for your body to go and repair that muscle so you can grow. Dirty bulk obviously is eat everything and anything in sight. It's not even do it fit your macros. It's just eat a lot of fucking food. And I've done this in the past. I was really bad at this. Eating boxes of Little Debbie's. I would go to Burger King back when they had buck doubles, a double cheeseburger for $1 each. I'd buy between 16 and 20 of them a day. No bullshit. And I'd eat 2 of them about every hour throughout the day. Say they're 400 calories and I ate 20 of them that day. That's like 8,000 calories. That's pretty significant. I don't need that much. Definitely back when I was 220 pounds, and I was already fat at that 220 pounds. Technically, I'm fat now too because I'm 22% body fat, but it's all perceptive and it's all about what you want to sit at. So I would more lean towards the cleaner bulk rather than the dirty bulk. Dirty bulk is it's not the smartest route to go unless you're trying to be a strong man or some shit or a power lifter and that's all you're really worried about. Next thing is you need to keep a notebook. You need to be able to keep a track of everything. Not so much your meals, but your workouts in the gym. You need to implement progressive overload. To be able to start gaining mass to gain muscle, you need to start increasing your poundages in the gym. And in order to do that, you need to keep track of all your exercises, all your movements, to be able to know what you did last time so you can increase that poundage next time. See, muscle hypertrophy in the gym is from you going in there and having an external stressor. You lifting this weight, you start tearing and get these micro tears, and whenever you go home and rest, your body starts repairing all that to be able to accommodate for the next time you do that same workout. The next time you need to increase the poundages to be able to start increasing that size. You don't, you're going to plateau, or you're not really going to get anywhere. You're not going to be able to make as much progress, be able to optimize what you could. Now, in the progressive overload, I believe you need to be doing compound movements, all the base movements, bench press, squats, overhead press, rows, deadlifts, curls, barbell curls, stuff like that. And while you're doing this, implementing this, you need to stay in the 8 to 10 rep range. You need to go to failure in this 8 to 10 rep range. So whenever you're doing your warm-up sets, you should already know approximately what weight you can go to where you're going to fail between 8 and 10 reps. When I say fail, meaning that once you get to failure, you can no longer lift that weight. Not because it hurts, but because you just can't do it. You fatigue that muscle to that point where you can't lift it anymore. And the next week, you add 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever it might be, or maybe just increase the reps. Just don't go significantly over 10 reps. You want to stay in that honey butter zone. At least that's my honey butter zone. Now, we're going there to increase poundages and increase the weight through progressive overload, but you don't want to go in there ego lifting. Yes, you are increasing your weight, and you are wanting to increase your weight to be able to increase the amount of stress that you put on your body so your body is no longer adapting to it, no more homeostasis. But you're not going to want to go in there and just throw an ass ton of weight on the bar and just try to be able to get, you're not going to want to ego lift. Ego lifting is lifting more weight than you really have any business of lifting. You start doing that, you're no longer focusing on the muscle. You're no longer having that mind muscle connection. You're no longer targeting the muscle that's necessary. Now, it's the easiest. I keep going back to bench press because it's the easiest thing to be able to speak on. Whenever you're bench pressing, you're not only using your chest, but you're also using your delts and your triceps. And in order to be able to try to take your triceps and your delts out of the equation, is to push with your chest. Now, when I say that, is flex your chest. Think about your chest whenever you're pressing. Press with your chest. Don't press with your arms. Don't just push the weight. Focus on your chest the entire time. That's going to put the maximum amount of stress there. Now, whenever you start adding more weight than what you really need to, or you start getting to that failure point, you might not do it on purpose, but your body's going to start recruiting other muscle groups to be able to help you move that weight more comfortably. It's going to start using your delts. It's going to start using your triceps. So you want to try to stay in a comfortable weight to go to failure. Not only because you don't want to start training all these other muscle groups that you're not involuntarily trying to train, but also because you don't want to cause any injuries. Injuries are really going to set you back. They set me back many a times recently, and that's shit. All right, between sets, say Monday is your chest day, and it's only your chest day, and you're on the Smith machine. You got incline, flat, and then you go over and do flies, and then that's all you have is you got three sets. We got three workouts. We got 4 working sets per exercise. All of them go into failure except for your warm up sets. Between each set, I would say between 60 seconds and 120 seconds, or 1 minute, 2 minutes. Any longer than that, you're gonna start cooling down, and your body's not going to be no longer really well prepared for this next poundages that you're going to be pushing up. Because as you progressively go up and you pyramid up, you're not going to stay at 150 pounds from your warm-up set all the way to your last working set for incline, flat, decline, squat, whatever it might be, hack squat, barbell curl. You're going to want to increase your poundages. You're not going to stay at the same weight. So as you increase your poundages, if you cool down between there to go to a heavier weight that you're not really used to or ready for at that point in time, you can really hurt yourself. And also keeping a smaller rest period between 1 and 2 minutes like that, you increase your intensity. And you increase your intensity, you're going to increase the amount of damage to that muscle fiber more efficiently. Now, a lot of celebrity trainers and celebrities go and they harp about going in the gym for 4 or 6 hours, and that's piss in the wind. That's no, I would never recommend that. Not even for someone trying to lose weight, unless they hate their lives and themselves. Now, when you're trying to gain mass, you definitely want to get in there, get out. 45 minutes tops if you're just doing one muscle group. Like I said, a minute, 2 minutes between each set. Get in, get out. Recovery and rest is really important. Nutrition is the most important. Getting food in. Rest and recovery is the next most important thing. You don't grow in the gym, you grow at the house. One of the best analogies that I got, and I've spoken on it before, is Dorian Yates talked about taking a piece of sandpaper and rubbing it on the palm of your hand to create a callus. You rub on the palm of your hand and have an abrasion, it's going to cause a callus. But if you keep rubbing every day and don't give your body time to heal to cause a callus, that damage is going to get worse. It's going to take longer. It's going to be harder for it to be able to recover itself. It's the same premise in the gym. You need to give yourself an adequate amount of time between training sessions. 5 to 7 days between muscle groups, in my opinion, definitely for beginners. Me, I'm saying about 5 days, and that's I've been in there for a while, That's pretty much everything that I have here. Again, this is muscular hypertrophy. It's not powerlifting. The difference between bodybuilding and powerlifting, in my opinion, anybody who's going to the gym to make themselves cosmetically look better, they're a bodybuilder, or they're bodybuilding or body sculpting. They're not powerlifting or being a strongman. You see, a bodybuilder goes to the gym to sculpt or to build themselves up. Yes, you involuntarily or you end up building strength as a byproduct, but it's not the ultimate goal. Powerlifters go in the gym to lift the most amount of weight in each compound movement that they can. See, powerlifters, they're not focusing on a singular muscle group. They're not trying to train for optimal hypertrophy for that muscle group. They're going in, say a bench press again. They're going to try to recruit their delts, their traps possibly. They're going to also use their triceps to try to force that weight up, the most amount of weight that they possibly can. They're not worried about what they look like cosmetically. They're worried about how much poundages they can move the most effectively. See, bodybuilders, they're more worried about damaging their muscle and getting bigger. So we're not going from point A to point B. We are going from point A to point B, but the point A to point B is different. For a power lifter, it's literally just moving the weight. Bodybuilders or body sculpting are trying to build yourself. You're more focusing on the muscle being worked and trying to work that muscle the most effectively or most optimally as you possibly can. That's one of the reasons why some of these bodybuilders, these older bodybuilders, larger bodybuilders, are able to curl 25, 30-pound dumbbells and get as much results as they can out of it. Yeah, that's not what they did in the beginning. That's not what they did when they started out. They did compound heavy movements. Once they got to the size, now they can sculpt, now they can change, and now they can maintain their size with a much lighter weight without risking damage. Because like with a curl, instead of just trying to whip that weight up, if you go slow, you fight it all the way up, slow down, real strict movements. With a powerlifting, if you're trying to get as much weight as you curl on a curl bar, you're going to be using rear delts, you're going to be using your back, you're going to be using momentum. The bodybuilder, you're going to want to try to do strict and try to put all that stress on your biceps versus trying to get momentum and trying to just throw that weight up. And that's the best analogy, best way I can really put it. We're at 18 minutes now. I appreciate it if y'all stuck around and listen to my rambles. I tried to put this together as neat as possible and had bullet points to try to follow them the best I could, so I'm not all over the place like I was with my my weight loss style video that I made. But if you can go ahead and put down in the comments what you think I could do differently, or what I should do differently, what you would like to see or hear me speak on, go ahead and let me know. If you haven't subscribe, please. Once after I break 1,000 followers and so many views, I can start monetizing my channel and I can actually start making money off of this. If I don't, I don't. I enjoy doing this to begin with, but whatever I can do. Appreciate y'all sitting around. Y'all take it easy.